look at a couple examples of common convection physical agents you will see in the clinic. First is fluidotherapy. Now, this modality makes people miss a lot of questions that they don't need to miss. The name is misleading. It is not fluid. It is actually physical particles that circulate around the limb as if they were a fluid. So fluidotherapy, I want you to think of very small grains of corn, small cellulose particles that flow around. And in this example, we have the machine here. This is actually full of a bunch of little pieces of material, and they are swirling around. And the patient has got this patient's arm is in a sleeve, and it is sealed here, usually by Velcro or some kind of attaching mechanism. This is going to impart more heat in the same amount of time and at the same temperature as a hot pack would. The downside would be if this patient had an open wound and that somehow leaked through the bag, now you have to clean this entire machine. You have to replace all the circulating medium. So this is cost-wise a little more expensive, and you might not see it as much as you think. Now we'll look at a cold compression unit. Cold compression units are basically ice buckets that have a circulating pump, and the unit will have a hose that runs to a sleeve. And for this example, the sleeve is attached to this guy's shoulder. The water will circulate up to the sleeve and come back. As it's circulating through, it is the body is heating the water, and the water is moving on, and colder water particles are now moving into the sleeve, and this is a form of convection. It is kind of opposite of fluidotherapy, right? This is removing heat from the tissue where fluidotherapy would be adding heat to the tissue. Now we'll look at Hubbard tank and whirlpool. These are very similar. They're both chambers full of water that are heated and circulated via a pump. The whirlpool example, you could see there's a chair. So this is probably more an example of someone would sit in that chair, a patient would sit in that chair, and they would dunk their legs into the tank, and the tank would circulate and transfer heat via convection. The Hubbard tank is much larger. You would submerge the whole body in that, and they both kind of have the same application where a warm water bath would be used to transfer heat via convectively, maybe reduce pain, prepare for stretching, and they can also be used for debridement and healing of wounds.